G'day YouTube, my name's Lance and welcome to Bundy Bear's Shed. Well, the weather, look, it's warmed up a couple of degrees. In the mornings it's about 12 and through the day it's around 26, 25, 26 most days. It's getting dry at the moment. We could do with a bit of rain, but anyway, that's that's pretty good. I haven't had my coat out all week, so it's okay. I think the time's about 6 in the morning here. Yes, 20 past 6 Monday morning, and yeah, look, it's a bit cool without your coat on, but look, as soon as the sun comes up and everything sorts out, it'll be fine. So yeah, what's been going on for the week? Well, all sorts of stuff really. The competition for the little golden grey Fergie tractor set, the grey and gold, and the TE20, which is the little set here. We'll do the draw for that shortly. Look, we had quite a lot of entries. We've got it all sitting in here ready to go in the ice cream pot. Hey, that's probably something to do with this, I reckon. And yeah, look, we had quite a few entries, and a few people on their entries, they had a bit of a yarn and said, you know, thanks for having the channel, and I like the tractor videos, and yeah, I watched them all, and it's just I found it good just getting in touch with everyone, and look, we had over 100 entries into it. Look, I haven't counted them, but it was up over 100 the other day. We got a couple this morning. One come in at 2 o'clock this morning. And so now the cut-off, I'm not going to look at the computer anymore. The cut-off has come at 6 o'clock Monday morning on June the 11th, 2018. I've started a series on restoring the golden grey Fergie. The grey and gold Fergie I did up about 12 years ago, and I just did what needed doing at the time, and got it going so I could take it to shows, and the bloke I bought it off, he was an orchardist, and he couldn't get the mist out of the tractor, so I bought it off him with the mist in it, and I couldn't work out what the mist was either, so I popped the head off, and it must have had a dud piston in it right from new, and it had a 3/8 of an inch square hole through the top of the piston, and the piston was only probably 2 millimeters. So 1/80 thou thick maybe at the top there, and yeah, just got a hole in it, and there was no damage to the head. There wasn't a dropped valve, there wasn't anything like that. It was just I believe a piston let go. So back then I put a engine kit through it, as in an in-frame kit, which consists of, you pull the head off, sump off, and you do the liners, pistons, rings, bearings. I did the head up then, and one thing about having it up in the container here is bloody dogs bark. But anyway, Kelly, I've told Kelly Dog we're going up the shed to work shortly, and she's coming in here annoying shit out of me, jumping up on me. Come on, Dad, let's get going. And so yeah, the dogs are the two in the yard, the young fella's dogs, they're having a bit of a sook because they want to get out here too. And Kelly's coming and going, saying, what's the hold up here? We got work to do. So but now back to the grey and gold. All we did, we painted it, we put an engine kit through it. We didn't need to do a clutch or anything like that. That was fine. The hydraulics were playing up, and I actually took the draft control out because it was all worn. And it hadn't done a lot of linkage work, so I'm a bit surprised it was so worn, but we just had it in position control, not thinking we'd ever be ploughing with it. But then when we came to plough, and that was the only tractor I had going, it ploughs like a bloody beauty. So, but there's a bit of slop in that top, so whether I do that this time or not, I don't know. We're just going to have it, I'm setting it up more as a road run tractor for the Fergie Club. I'm a member of the Harry Ferguson Tractor Club of Australia, and I've got there's a few fellas in town, Robbie, Davey, Recco, Ian Bidgood, a few of the other people in town that I'm friends with and come into the shop quite regularly. They're in the Fergie Club, and we're thinking of getting a couple of runs going in our area. So I thought, well, instead of taking the John Deere, I'll just make sure the little Goldie's on top line and re-register it and make sure it's ready to go. So with the young bloke painting at that time, that was a sort of stimulus to do it, to start painting it. Then when you start painting it, you think, well, it's got that axle leak and it's got this and that, and so one thing's led to another. So we're going to hop right into it and balls and all and have a bit of a go. So there's a new series on the channel. I think it's Ferguson FE35 grey and gold restoration, and this morning I just popped the introduction out there on what we're going to do and a bit of a walk around the tractor. Over the weekend that's just gone, I had my mate Davey Recco come out, and look, Dave's a great bloke. More blokes like Dave in the world, the whole world would be a better place. Him and his cousin Rob, and more people like them, the world would be alright. But he plays with Fordsons, so you know I've got to have a word to him about that. They're no bloody good. And these crank start tractors, you know, I don't have crank start tractors, and they're just a pain in the arse. And but look, he's got a 65 too. It's all ready for the road runs, and it's got a little the front gearbox seal's leaking at the moment, so we'll probably, I'm trying to get him to bring it out here and I'll help him do it. But he doesn't seem that keen. He's one of the fellas doesn't want to impose on you all the time and things like that. So, but I'd probably like to do it and video it. But Dave come out on the weekend, and back a couple of years ago, he bought this old Fordson, and I don't know if you remember, those that watch the channel may remember when we were towing it out of the truck, the wheel fell off. The back wheel fell off because the bloke he bought it off insisted on loading it with a forklift, and pardon me, and yeah, so he loaded it with a forklift, and we snug it out with the loader, and the wheel fell off because it didn't have any axle wedges to hold the axles in, so you know, I'll hold the centres on the axle. So anyway, we dragged it down. It's an ex-Land Army one, and that's why he particularly wanted to get it going, and we sat it out the back here and under a tree, and we ginned around and we got it going, and God, we looked like well, white fellas with black pox all over us. Yeah, we got it going up the paddock here, and it shot oil out and bloody rained down oil, and we're all white with black dots. But and look, the tractor, he had a bit of a hard time a couple of years ago, and so I donated him some Fordson front hubs that take the rubber tyres, rubber tyred wheels, and then I gave him the rims and all to go on it, just because he's a mate, and it was something he wanted to get it up on rubbers, and it was a test thing for me too. So and look, it looks great on rubbers. On rubber tyres, and you don't have to worry about steel wheels, but it's been a bit hard to start, and being hard to start, and it's never run properly, it's always missed a little bit. So he pulled the head off the other night, and a couple of valves were just full of carbon, and there was no, it's a side valve and there's no valve gap between the lifters and the valve, so they were riding, and it had a 187th hour ring gap, and so last week we got him a set of rings for it, 4 1/8 inch ball. We got some rings, found the last set of rings in Australia apparently, and we found a couple of new valves, a couple of blanks that we could turn up some new valves if we wanted to, and but we didn't need to. So Dave asked, I asked him to, and he took me up on the offer as if he could come out and do the valves and seats, and he hadn't done them before, he didn't know how to do them, so I set him up on the little valve grinder, and he dressed his valves, and I did one to show him, and then he dressed his valves, then we docked a bit off the end so we had valve clearance, and then he cut the seats, and yeah, we cut them at 45, then knocked the top off at 30 degrees so we could bring the seats down the valves a bit and use his old valves. And just as a cost saving thing, it didn't need new valves for a tractor that's going to go, it's going to go in grand parades and be a display tractor. It's not going to be a road tractor or anything like that. So and it'll do a bit of ploughing and things like that. So I got a clip at the end here with Dave doing his valves, and he's he doesn't like the camera. He doesn't look at the camera. He just bloody stick your camera up your ass. But just to show you a bit of what's going on, he's out near the old rubbish heap out the back of Bundy Bear's shed. I've got a heap of junk that should be chucked out, but I was waiting for the steel prices to come up, and then they're still not up. So anyway, we'll sort that out one day. That's beside the point, really. And so yeah, there's a little clip at the end of Dave doing his thing with his tractor, with his Fordson N. It's a 1938, I believe, Fordson N. And yeah, side valve. So the pistons are in. I lent him the tools to put the pistons on and, you know, clean the carbon and all that. So he done that last night. Well, not last night, night before. Then bugging me dead. He's got a little super cheap stool, and we were sitting on that, and he says, "Oh, have you got one of these stools? They're a good thing." And I said, "Oh no, I haven't." But anyway, while I was doing it, I was having a sit on it. I said, "Yeah, they are alright, eh?" And anyway, he brings me tools back yesterday, and he says, "Here you go, Bear. There's a bloody there's a stool for you." And I said, "Oh shit, you didn't have to do that." And he said, "Oh no, you know, I've helped him out." So he's bought me a super cheap stool, and it's got a little base on it with you can put your tools in the bottom, and it's got suspension and yeah, up and down, so you can adjust the level, and a cushion so you don't get a sore ass working on your tractor. And look, over the years I've just used milk crates. Some days you do get a sore ass, but anyway, I've usually had enough padding that hasn't been much of a worry. So I've got a flash new seat up there that I've been using for the gold one. And I'll take it for a bit of a walk. I spent most of Saturday tidying up the shed, trying to get enough room to get the tractors how I wanted them. I've got the gold and grey, then I've got the 48, then in front of that I've got the diesel, which I'm not going to work on the diesel, but the 48 I'm going to pick up and finish, sort of thing. We've got shitloads of stuff to do to it, but with these tractor runs coming up, I just want to get the gold tractor back to where I could jump on it and go, which it's been like that for years. So we're doing the gold one, and if we run out of parts or run out of time, we'll jump across to the 48. And I've got me Johnny and the farm all I bought. They're both runners, so if I need to get in behind with forklifts and that, I can just run those two tractors out, bring the forklifts in and do it like that. So I'll take it for a quick walk up there. With the gold and grey, or grey and gold belly. I'm still not sure which way it sounds best. I've gone around and I found a heap of me Fergie parts, and I've got 3 complete T20 bonnets tucked away, plus others, grills and sides and all that, and I've got Fergie front weights and bloody... but I'm trying to get a bit of organisation so I can have... last week I bought the paint for the Farmall 100, 2-pack paint, you know, $350 for 4 litres, and well, plus the hardener and all that. So I've bought that, and I've bought... we had an order come in from America, so I added some parts for the Farmall 100 to that order. And so I've got a row of Farmall 100 bits, which consist of alternators, alternator brackets, carby kits and all that, and there'll be a video coming up on the carby. But yeah, how we go with that I don't know, or when is more to the point, I don't know. But anyway, we'll just stumble along through it all. The carby on the gold one's gonna... They're good jobs to bring up into the shipping container for an evening. So after work I can sit at my desk here and I can fiddle doing the carby up and, you know, strip it down, have a good look, see what I need, then maybe take it up and bead blast it, then the next night, you know, put it together or something like that. But they're jobs that I can bring up to the shipping container here. Another little job I have going, and I've been meaning to do this for years, but I've just been too much of a slack ass. And years ago I started making a splitting stand for the Fergies, and just a little one. And look, this has been sitting around, and I found it in my Fergie stuff. I'd forgotten I'd got this far with it. And anyway, and the idea was to have this splitting stand, then put a jack on it, or what I'm actually going to do, I've got some triangle PDO tube with a bit of 1¼ inch threaded bar and a big nut, and I used to just have a bit of stuff there, then have a bit of rod sticking up, and then Sounds like I've got someone here. Hang on a sec. Alright, back again. That was just a young bloke leaving for work. He's got to have a 7 o'clock start today, and he normally starts at 8. So yeah, so we had to stop filming because we had dogs barking and carrying on and cars coming out and bloody circus. But anyway, back on track. Yeah, with the splitting stand that we're making. Just put that there. Yeah, while the young bloke was out there, it gave me a chance to go and grab me bits and pieces I'm using for the stand. And now this is a bit of triangle PDO shaft, male and female PDO shaft. And what I've done in the past is the smaller section here, the threaded rod goes down there. I weld a bar each side of this for a handle, and then I can wind this up and down, and yeah, it works a treat. I'll probably put this in the lathe and turn a top on that. Then what I did with the ones, see, I sold all that with my business, so what I did with the other ones, I had different size tops on them, and I could have like just a flat one with a bit of soft pine on it. You could sit up under something, and so we'll probably turn that up, make a few different heads, like I said. One of them will go under like a 65, you know, where the 4 bolts are under the clutch housing. One of them you'll undo that bolt and we'll actually bolt the stand to there. But with this setup like this, that gives us an opportunity to drill through here and have a couple of different heights where you can start off this and start your thread off. But on the little tractors, oh, you haven't got much room under there, and so with my other ones I actually had really short bits of threaded rod to go in, because yeah, by the time if you have a pin every 2 inches, well, by the time you have a couple of inches of thread up here, that's usually enough to register. There's Kelly dog in here again. Hey, she's in here saying, "Come on, Dad. Hey, come up. Hey, see, buddy." She's in here saying, "When are we going?" Hey, she said, "You're rooting around a bit too much this morning." But anyway, we'll get there, Kelly dog. Go and stir up the other dogs or something. And so with the pipe here, what we're doing for wheels is, I bought a heap of parts one time, and they were for a Mitsubishi tractors, Japanese tractors, and we've sold a lot of them, but some of them we're never going to sell. So we've got these ball bearings here, and I think they're just a 6207, something like that. And I was going to tack weld them onto the end here, but I've had a change of heart, and what I'm going to do is, I've got this big hunk of shit here. I'm going to turn that down so it fits up in here, and look, only say 50 mil, 2 inches, and then I'll drill through here and we'll just we'll weld it in so it can't move. And then on the outer end, I'm going to turn it down, slide one of these bearings on, and have a circlip on the end. Not a circlip or a thread in a washer or something like that, just to hold them on, and then that should give us a beautiful rolling surface. Won't be any good for out in the dirt, but we won't be out in the dirt. We've got a nice shed up the back there with a 5 inches of concrete floor, and so look, it'll be fine. I may even just make a little angle iron frame to run the bearings up and down to keep them up out of the dirt. So that's a little project for in Bundy Bear's shed here that can be done through the week. Yeah, when I come home from work of an afternoon and feel like a fiddle, well, I can, you know, turn up the pegs or drill a few holes or something like that. So anyway, we'll work out which way we're going with that, and how many holes we're going to have, and how long the stand's going to be, and all that sort of thing. So before we have the draw, the young fellow that was working here, young Michael, like, we got in a Woman's Weekly and everything, and And not last Monday, a week ago, the week before, I had him painting palings, and that's after he sent me messages saying he wasn't coming to work, he didn't want to work here anymore and all that. And then his mum messaged me and said he'll be there. So he came, and look, that Monday I had him painting palings, and for the whole 8 hours he was here, he did about 20 foot of palings, and he was really going slow, and I couldn't seem to speed him up at all, you know, and I showed you with him painting up there, and but I just couldn't get him going. And like when Judy or myself paint the palings here, we can do about 40 metres in about 3 or 4 hours, and but he did 6 metres in a whole day, and I just couldn't speed him up. And anyway, so last week where the new tank is outside here, I wanted to hook that tank to the pressure pump and go across. So we just had to dig a trench, the depth of a spade, which is probably look a bit over a foot deep, across the yard. And look, it's about 25 metres maybe, and we've got a dog out there whinging away, and anyway, I couldn't get him going, and I had to whiz into town and get some plumbing fittings. And we have smoko, have a cup of tea at 9, start at 7 in the morning, cup of tea at 9, lunch at 11:30 to 12, and then in the afternoon, you know, a 10-minute break sometime, just for a cuppa and a bit of refreshment. So anyway, I said, you keep digging the trench there, and I just got to whiz in and get the fittings. So off I goes into town to get the fittings, and I come back right on 9 o'clock, 9:01, as I drove in the driveway. And I thought, I'll get in, I'll have a cuppa with him, have a yarn, see what he'd been up to and all that. And anyway, he'd been sitting there and he'd already eaten all his smoko and all that. But then he waited for me to have a cuppa, and I said, well, you know, we better get going. So anyway, he was just swinging the lead, going slow, and after 3 hours he'd done 5 foot of this ditch. And I said, look, this isn't your whole life, your day's work sort of thing. Yeah, this isn't your whole day. You know, when I done it last time, it took me about 2.5 hours to get right across the yard and put the pipe in and all that sort of thing. So anyway, I left it an hour or two, and he was just like slow, and anyway, it started to piss me off. And so I set up my camera, I set up my phone, and just to film what was going on, because he's been going in telling the minders that he's been, you know, putting in a good effort and good day and all that, and I've been telling him, you know, he's bloody doughy, you know, something's not right, he's not happy here. And anyway, so I set the camera up, and just for a bit of a so I could show his minders really what I was saying. And anyway, in 3 minutes he done 3 shovel loads. And they weren't shovel, like he was just cleaning the bottom of the trench, and he'd kneel and he'd look around and look up. Then yeah, we got it all on video. Get his phone out and have a look what time it was and all that. And so I took the video, and then I went out to yarn to him, and I said, you know, we've got to get our finger out. I gave him a choice of shovels and all that, and I said, look, I'd like you to use this flat face one, and it's like a long handled spade. And I said, look, we cut down here, cut the grass, cut this bit out, and it's done. I said, I'll do a bit just to show you what I expect. So I did 3 minutes and almost a metre, and it's not hard digging. And look, it had a little, the crust was a little harder than the rest, but then it's just sandy loam. So he sped up for about 20 minutes, and then slowed back down again, and I couldn't get him going. And with the video, I looked at the video later and I showed Jude, and I said, look, this is a bloke doesn't want to be here. And so I spoke to his minders on Tuesday and said, look, I need you to come and have a look. I'm going to put him off. You know, if someone wants to be here, I'll help them as much as I can. If they don't want to be here, I don't want them here. And after painting the tractor and, you know, not wanting to come to work and pulling the pin on me and things like that, well, I felt enough was enough. So they went and had to talk to him, and, you know, how'd you go yesterday? Oh no, good. "Oh, what did you do?" "Oh," he said, "we dug a trench right across the yard and put some pipe in, and oh, I went to the forklift and got a little bit of fence and panel, and anyway," I said, "Oh, okay." So no, they come back and said, "He reckons he enjoyed yesterday and it was a good day. He got a lot done and he put in a good effort." And I said, "Oh, good effort? Watch this." and the look on them, I said, "Oh, well, what they're getting told and what was happening was different." And I said, "Look, I'm going to put him off." And they said, "Oh, well, you got to give him a week's notice, and and pay up. We had holiday pay owing and all that sort of thing." And I said, "That's no worries." But I said, when he painted the tractor on me, and you asked me what it took to make things right, you were going to pay 3 days' wages for him, and I've never received that. You just haven't done it." And they said, "Oh, it's on the desk there somewhere. We'll complete that." And I said, "Well, look, I'm going to give him a week's notice," which meant I had to have him here today on Monday to work. And I said, "Look, if you don't want to be here, I don't want him here. I'll just pay him for that day. So he'll get a day." But it turns out that there was a public holiday that we didn't pay him for because he was casual and it was just a Monday. And he said, "What do you want to do?" And I said, "Oh, no work. Don't worry about it. Don't come in." Because I didn't want to pay him penalty rates either, really. And so anyway, they said, "Well, you didn't pay him for that day." I said, "No, I didn't think I had to." And they said, "Oh, you got to pay him for that public holiday a couple of months ago." And in the 6 months he's been here, he's been away. He only works 1 day a week, and he had 3 weeks away sick in that time. And they said, "You've only paid him for 2 of them and not 1." And I said, "Well, he didn't have any sickies up. We paid him for the ones that we owed him, but the ones that weren't due, we didn't. No need." And so anyway, so what we've done last Thursday, we've paid him out. We've paid him that day, then for last week, then for this week, and I think we gave him a bit extra just to make sure we were doing the right thing by him. And so he's not here anymore. So I'm doing the tractor on my own. And look, to tell you the truth, I used to keep jobs for him. Oh, that'd be easy for him to do, and now I've got to do it all myself, and I'm going great. I'm enjoying it. It feels like a bit of a load's been lifted because I haven't got that worry anymore. So, but anyway, so Michael's not here anymore, the young fella. They asked me would I take another one on, a disability person, and I said, well, look, I would, but they got to want to be here and have a bit of go to them and all that. Where he's never had that, the other young bloke, and we sort of thought we could build him up to it, but it looks like it hasn't worked. So anyway, not to worry, he's not here anymore. Enough dribble from me. What you've been waiting for is a draw for this little Fergie tractor, and these are just a lovely bit of gear. They're yeah, that little grey and gold there, that's like the little goldie up the back. It's a petrol one. And the T20 on these things, it's got the Continental engine in it, but they're a lovely kit. Yeah, just lovely. So there's a little bit of history with them there. I'll pop that aside. We're going to post that to wherever. We don't care. Wherever it comes from. So, without further ado, there's all the goodies. Well, I've got every one on a bit of paper, and I've screwed them up, folded them up, screwed them up, chucked them in the ice cream pot, and we'll just have a bit of a stir up over here, and we'll grab one. Now let's have a look. Gordon Perry. So there you go, Gordon. You lucky bugger. Well, I've got the computer inside with your name and address on it, Gordon. I'll get Judy to wrap that up nicely and put a bit of bubble wrap around it and all that, and send it your way. So yeah, so Gordon's going to have a little tractor to sit and look at, and might encourage him to buy a couple to match it, because you can't really have the box without the ones, the real ones, can you? It just wouldn't be right. But look, that's all I have in the stew. I'm going to add Davey's clip on the end of it, with Davey doing the doing his forwards, and this would have dragged on long enough. I've had a bit of verbal diarrhea this morning. I'm having a bit of a chat, trying to fill you in on what's going on. But hopefully through the week for next stew, I'll have a bit of turning up of these shafts for the splitting stand, and yeah, I'm trying to split the work into shed stuff and container stuff. So the front axle's quite worn on the Gold tractor, which I never had a part ever. So we're going to be rebushing the whole bolster of that and making stuff. So that sort of stuff I can pull it out over the weekend and get it all ready then. Through the week when I want to just whiz out the shed and do a couple of hours of an evening, well, I can do that. So that way we'll keep the restoration going and keep it quick. But look, thanks for following along on the channel again. We're up to 6,700 subscribers. Thanks for entering the competition, for those that entered the competition. And we'll work out something for next time. But anyway, I got work to do. Kelly Dog says I should be up the shed by now, so I better get going. So I'll catch you all later, eh? Well, there we are. Look what's going on out the back of Bundy Bear's shed. We've got an old Fordson. I don't let the Fordsons in the shed, but but here's Dave. Dave's using a bit of gear. Dave and me have been mates for years playing with tractors, and he's just doing the valve seats, and we're grinding the valves. Dave's doing all the work. I'm just watching on the peanut gallery, and we're grinding the valves, putting them in, lapping them, and then we're grinding the ends to set the valve clearance. So we'll come around. It's a nice little tractor, this. See, we got the rubbers on the front, which we got Dave going with. This is the actual tractor we tried them on to see if they all fitted, and we've got to make a couple little changes, but nothing much. And under Dave's arm there, you can see has its seat cutters cutting the seats in an old side valve. They're a side valve engine. And then you can see that one there. That was our first one to test how everything was going to work. So there you go, the Bear and the Rocket. Dave, you've got to give a wave. He says fucking cameras. Yeah.